All right, greetings, brothers and sisters from the four corners of the world. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. All right, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may be. All right, so as you know, this is a Cern lesson, and this one is a little bit different. All right, so in the time span of creating this lesson, all the slides and everything. Um, I did, we went through being spiritually fit. We went through the origins, the beast as it was. And we're not just necessarily going into Antarctica for this portion, but huh, this will certainly lead to it. All right. Now, this is a CERN special. This is called, this CERN lesson particularly will be called Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction. Now, I know you're probably like, what in the world? Why would he call a lesson Fatal Attraction? Now, let's look up the word fatal attraction. So, fatal in the adjective form goes right back to the word fate. It says decreed by fate, fraught with fate, ordained by fate, decreed, destined, or belonging to fate or destiny. Also means destructive and deadly. So a destructive or deadly fate, right? Causing or attended with death. All right. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Okay. Think about it. And let's go to the root word fate, one's lot or destiny, predetermined course of life, also one's guiding spirit, prophetic declaration of what must be, oracle and prediction. Hmm. So many people saying that fate, 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 and they have no idea what it actually means. Now, it's something deadly, it's something destructive, and then attraction. Now, the word attraction is a medical term. Many people don't know. It comes from the root word attract, and it says action or property of drawing diseased matter to the surface. I'm going to say that again. Action or property of drawing matter, diseased matter, diseased matter to the surface. Also meaning a drawing together. All right? Pay attention. Now it says in the 1600s, it was mentioned to be magnetic forces. Magnetic forces. Magnetic forces. The figurative sense of quality in a person which draws interest or imagination. We're going to come back on this again, but I want you to think something deadly, fatal, an attraction, something that a quality in a person that draws death to them. That's why it's called fatal attraction. All right. I want you to think of this. This is gonna blow someone's mind because we not just gonna touch Cern. We're gonna touch about maybe three or four things that's prevalent to the month of August, as they would call it. Okay. And then look at the root word attract. Draw to oneself. Medical term, you know they're going to block this one. Medical term, and if they don't block it, probably they'll probably take it off when everything pops off. But a medical term for the body's tendency to absorb fluids. Oh yeah, attract. Of physical forces, magnets, etc. So when you heard the word attraction, you thought of when a man likes a woman or a woman likes a man. Well, this is deeper than that. In fact, that's what they gave everyone on the surface to be dumbed down and not understand the true intentions of how the world is operating. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, this is Cern Part 9, a Cern special, Fatal Attraction. Now we're going to start with the book of Second Baruch. Book of Second Baruch 84 through 85. And it reads, Now I gave you knowledge while I still live. For I have said that you should particularly learn my mighty commandments, which he has instructed you. And I shall set before you some of the commandments of his judgment before I die. Remember that once Moses called heaven and earth to witness against you and said, If you trespass the law, you shall be dispersed. And if you shall keep it, you shall be planted. And also other things he said to you when you were in the desert as 12 tribes together. And after his death, you cast it away from you. And therefore, that which has been said before has come upon you. And I'm going to emphasize that which has been said before has come upon you. Now, there's a reason I call this a Cern special. One, I pray that everyone does have the ability to watch or listen to this, but it's likely that many won't. Okay. But what I'm going to do is everything together. And I'm really praying that everyone take heed to following the Most High, making sure you're right in Christ, and doing all that you're supposed to be doing. Moving forward. And now Moses spoke to you before it befell you, and behold, it has befallen you, for you have forsaken the law. Also, Behold, I say to you after you suffered, that if you obey the things which I have said to you, you shall receive from the Mighty One everything which has been prepared and has been preserved for you. Therefore, let this letter be a witness between me and you, that you may remember the commandments of the Mighty One, and that it also may serve as my defense in the presence of him who has sent me. And remember Zion and the law and the Holy Land and your brothers and the covenant and your fathers. And do not forget the festivals and the Sabbaths. And give this letter and the traditions of the law to your children after you, as also your fathers handed down to you. And ask always and pray seriously with your whole soul, that the Mighty One may accept you in mercy, and that he may not reckon the multitude of your sinners. But remember the integrity of your fathers. For if he judges us not according to the multitude of his grace, woe to all of us who are born. Further, know that our fathers in former times and former generations had helpers, righteous prophets, and holy men. But we were also in our country, and they helped us when we sinned, and they intervened for us with him who has created us, since they trusted in their works. And the Mighty One heard them and purged us from our sins. But now the righteous have been assembled, and the prophets are sleeping. Also, we have left our land, and Zion has been taken away from us, and we have nothing now apart from the Mighty One in his law. Therefore, if we direct and dispose our hearts, we shall receive everything which we lost again by many times. For that which we lost was subjected to corruption, and that which we receive will not be corruptible. We also have written to our brothers in Babylon, so that I may attest to them these things also. And these things which I have said earlier should be before your eyes always, since we are still in the spirit of the power of our liberty. And further, the Most High is also long suffering to us here, and has shown to us that which comes, and has not concealed from us what will happen at the end. Therefore, before his judgment exacts his own and truth of that which is its due, let us prepare ourselves, that we may possess and not be possessed, that we may hope and not be put to shame, and that we may rest with our fathers and not be punished with those who hate us. For the youth of this world has passed away, and the power of creation is already exhausted. And the coming of times is very near and has passed by, and the pitcher is near the well, and the ship to the harbor, and the journey to the city, and life to its end. Further, prepare yourselves, so that when you sail and ascend from the ship, you may have rest, and not be condemned when you have gone away. For behold, the Most High will cause all these things to come, and there will not be an opportunity to repent anymore, nor a limit to the times, nor a duration of the periods, nor a change to rest, nor an opportunity to prayer, nor sending up petition, nor giving knowledge, nor giving love, nor opportunity of repentance, nor supplicating for offenses, nor prayers of the fathers, nor intercessions of the prophets, nor help of the righteous. There is a proclamation of judgment to corruption regarding the way to the fire and the path that leads to the glowing coals. Therefore, there is one law by one world, and an end for all those who exist. Then he will make alive those whom he has found, and he will purge them from sins. And at the same time, he will destroy those who are polluted with sins. Now, what an admonition from Baruch. But the greatest part of this is, the emphasis of this is, let's see if you got it. I want you to think for a second. What was the greatest part of this that you think I'm going to emphasize right now before we move on? It says here in verse 9, therefore, before his judgment exacts his own truth of that which is its due, let us prepare that we may possess and not be possessed. This is the emphasis for tonight's lesson. Or excuse me, my brain cells this morning. Sorry. This is the emphasis for today's lesson, brothers and sisters. Let us prepare ourselves that we may possess the kingdom and not be possessed by the devils. And you're wondering, right? And hold that thought. I'm going to show y'all something, right? Because everyone, I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on in this world, right? There's some crazy stuff. I mean, but we're gonna take it to another level. I want to share something with you, and I want you to tell me how many people have seen this. All right. Now, hold on. I'm getting the video real quick. Appreciate y'all patience. Give me one moment, please. Almost there. All right, we got action. Thank you, Most High. Oh, they don't want to let me download it. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Most High. Thank you so much. All right. I seen this and I said, people don't understand. I said, Most High, you think the fires are bad. Okay. You listen here. Fair use. Check this out. Look what I found. Oh my goodness. And of course the news, they never gonna tell you this. They never gonna tell you. You sitting there thinking that we got time. We don't got no time, crazy. Check this out.
sprouting. Every bump has a big stone underneath. A video shared by Annette.
Now there's a road with bumps in it, right? You would think like you're driving in a road, like, what is all these potholes, right? Man, listen.
Showed that in Neiqiu, Qingtai, Hebei, an asphalt road had many black bumps resembling seeds about to sprout.
So they had black bumps that has like a seed-like, structure that things was about to sprout.
Witnesses tore open these bumps, revealing white stones inside.
Now there was white stones. I'm like, anybody talking to you about worldly things, cut them off.
The Neiqiu County Transportation Bureau confirmed the occurrence. In Maoming City, Guangdong Province, nocturnal bats were seen crawling on the ground and palm tree trunks in broad daylight.
Now, look at this.
A very unusual and eerie sight. Some netizens commented that it made their scalp tingle. According to mainland media Red Star.
Now, I want to know what was being birthed in the underground concrete.
From August 6th to 7th at the Haigang West Pier and the drainage area connecting Dianshi Lake and
I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Yunnan, a large number of big head carp were seen constantly jumping out of the water.
Now, everyone has seen that phenomenon. Everyone has seen the red sky and all that. They got the pink sky now. All right. The clouds forming out of nowhere. The desert's got all the water flowing in them.
Inner Mongolia experienced a flood blocking passing vehicles.
All right. Show me something.
Ants appeared on the ground.
Let's bring that back for y'all.
On August 6th in Shijiazhuang, Hebei, a large number of ants appeared on the ground. On August 7th in Liaoning, the river began to bubble. In Hebei, not only did rivers bubble, but well water did too.
Now that water smoking hot, boy.
In an unspecified location in the mainland, a red glow.
No, we're not gonna worry about that. Look at guys are shooting up everywhere. Look at that.
It's up about 4 to 5 meters high. It's stopped now and it's blocking the way. See how the spring's acting? You don't need to visit other famous springs anymore. It stopped again. Video shared by Mesa from Wesley City.
Oh, buddy. It's everywhere. Even by the farmland. All right. Now, water here is boiling.
After the floods in various parts of Hebei, fields experienced groundwater eruptions seemingly accompanied by heat.
And I want y'all to know something. You want to know why?
Garden of Beijing's Xunyi district, there's a bizarre phenomenon of groundwater spurting accompanied by smoke.
Now, you want to know why all this is happening. I mean, some people, man, these are the signs. One, and I could do a whole lesson on this, but one, whatever you learned in elementary school science and all that, just throw that in the trash. There is no such thing as a core. The core is the bottomless pit. And that is boiling. And the smoke. Man, you don't believe me? Okay, let me get into the lesson because you think this is bad. You think that's bad. That's nowhere close to what's prepared for the world. Baruch said, let us prepare ourselves that we may possess and not be possessed. Wait, what was going to happen? The question should be, what was going to happen that he said people had the possibility to be demonically possessed? What's happening here? I got the juice for you, don't worry. All right, these are questions of Ezra. And I know I said verse 11. I'm going to start from verse 8. It says, the angel replied and said, if there is someone above you, do not talk with him anymore. Otherwise, great evil will befall you. Now, I also suggest you reading the whole thing, though. I'm not taking nothing out of context. The prophet said to the angel, Lord, I would speak a little more with you. Replied to me, when the day of the end arrives and he takes the soul, will he assign it to the place of punishment or to the place of honor? Okay. I'm not going to finish that because it's until the parousia. Right. Obviously, they took something out there. Moving forward, it says, the angel replied and said, do not wait until the day of the end, but like a flying eagle, hasten to do good deeds and mercy. For that day is fearsome, it is urgent and exacting. It does not permit care of children or of possessions. It comes and arrives suddenly, like someone merciless and impartial. It takes a captive unexpectedly. Surely, whether he weeps or mourns, it will have no mercy. Want that to sit. I wanted to sit for a little. It doesn't permit care of children or possessions. It's merciless, impartial. The day of the end, a lot of people are thinking it's just Christ coming back. It's a war. The day of the end is a war between the devil and Christ. That's why I say he's coming to send his angels, right? Some thousands of thousands of thousands with Christ. He wouldn't be coming with angels if it wasn't war. There will be no mercy. And I'm gonna share with you because it's unfortunate that a lot of people fall into these scriptures, unfortunately, of lack of preparing or all things are getting better and well, yeah, okay. Luke 21, 34 through 36 says, and take heed to yourselves lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the earth, of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Now, brothers and sisters, in 2019, 2020, 2021, it was all about the jib jab, right? Then they really gave everyone like a year to just right? It was like the Most High gave you a year. It's like, okay, what you gonna do with that year? And so now people got caught lacking. I know. You're like, huh? Lacking. What did we do? What happened? Check this out. We're gonna go into this word surfeiting. Surfeit, okay? Excessive quantity, overindulging, excessive, arrogance, root word arrogant, okay? Drunkenness. Let, let's see the correlations they have given us in the text. Now look at this, right? Surfeiting, a headache, as a seizure of pain from drunkenness, a debauch, an analogy of glut, surfeiting. Hmm. Right? Think about it. Don't let your hearts be overcharged with this. Look what it says, to be burdened with such a lifestyle. Hmm. Hmm. Now, brothers and sisters, if you're not watching, what do you know how to pray to escape from? Right? Say with me. If we're not watching, what do we know what to escape from? Hmm. I want that to soak in there. Now, Romans 13, 10 through 14 reads, Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now our salvation nearer. For now is our salvation nearer than we when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not rioting and drunkenness, and not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yeshua, term in Hebrew, Savior, Christ, and make not provisions for the flesh, but fulfill the lust thereof. Now, point and emphasis here. It is high time to wake God asleep. It is high time to, before you go and save someone else, before you go and minister to other people, teach other people, make sure that you have cast off your works of darkness and put on the armor of God, which is the armor of light, because Baruch said, prepare that you may possess and not be possessed. Is it coming together? Now you like, what you calling this fatal attraction? Yup. You're not giving me nothing. All right, all right, all right. I'm sorry. Remember we talked about dark energy and dark matter, right? Remember that. We said it says the dominating form of energy in the cosmos, dark energy, is the driving, accelerating expansion of the universe, which we know is a lie. But we know anything that's dark is devilish, right? It says, think of, now this is what they put, space.com, think of dark energy as the evil counterpart of gravity, anti-gravity, right? Dark matter, antimatter. You get it, right? Remember we went over those things briefly? I mean, NASA got it all there, talking about dark energy, dark matter, right? Hmm. Antimatter, dark energy, right? Now, as of August, oh wait, that's this month. Let's see what's going on in the world. While you're focused on everything else, well, you know, that Cern is up to something. Fair use.
This is a lab that attracts the heaviest metal.
Metallica, the Pixies, Arcade Fire was here. My friend Roger Waters down here along the bottom. Muse was here.
Yeah. All of the rock stars want to meet Jeffrey Hangst, whose decades-long project, nay, obsession, could be about to make him a legend. In this building, they are making the rarest and most expensive material in the known universe, antimatter.
Say what?
Antimatter is the stuff of science fiction that turns out to be science fact. Our universe is made of tiny particles of matter, and in theory, every type of particle has an equivalent antiparticle, an evil twin that is the same in almost every way.
I want you to write this now. They trying to match molecules and atoms with what? Evil, right? A replica. Keep that in mind.
But the thing is, there's almost none of it in the known universe, which is actually quite a good thing, because antimatter and matter do not get along.
Now, make sure you write that. Antimatter and matter don't get along. They're opposites, right?
Happens when matter meets antimatter.
Well, they're incompatible. They annihilate each other and release a bunch of energy or other particles. It's a microscopically nasty business.
Yeah, that is an understatement, shall we say. The enormous release of energy when the two meet has inspired science fiction writers to imagine it being used to create the ultimate weapon, to power entire civilizations, and to provide enough fuel to explore the galaxy. One of the popular themes in science fiction is we use matter and antimatter, combine them to produce almost limitless energy. Is that even possible?
Well, when you say it like that, it's exactly true. If you had some antimatter and used it to annihilate matter, you make an incredible amount of energy per kilogram, right? That's what antimatter does. The problem is that we don't have any, we have to make it. And we kind of suck at making it in terms of how much energy we need to put into it.
Now, the question should be, we don't have any. We need to make it. Now, how did you get the knowledge of something you don't have? Did anyone ask that question? So if you don't have it, you ain't never seen it before. How do you have the knowledge to make it? Yeah, I'm just curious. Never mind.
So it takes much, much more energy than you would ever get out again. It's a complete loser from the science fiction standpoint. So I can't help you out with the Starship.
Makes me a little bit sad. Nonetheless, here at the Antimatter factory,
You got it. You got it. Antimatter fact. So I just want you to know there's people out there who are working for our death. Antimatter factory.
yeah, that's its actual name, Jeffrey has succeeded in creating the opposite of the simplest element in the universe, anti-hydrogen.
Once the antimatter is created, it flies really, really fast around a ring that's behind all of these thick concrete blocks. And you know what thick concrete blocks mean? It means you really don't want to be any nearer to the stuff that's on the other side of them.
And by looking at how anti-hydrogen behaves, Jeffrey's hoping to answer one of the universe's biggest mysteries. Why is there no antimatter left in the universe?
Now, real quick, they want to make antimatter, which we're full of matter. Okay, they want to make anti-hydrogen, which the world is full of hydrogen. If you didn't know, hydrogen is water. So they just want to accelerate death. In short,
Shouldn't matter and antimatter have been created in equal amounts in the Big Bang? And shouldn't it all have just cancelled out, leaving nothing behind?
and that's the problem. They sitting there making people believe in a Big Bang happened millions of years ago, which they don't even exist. And right in front of us, they're trying to create a Big Bang. There's no such thing as a Big Bang. They want a Big Bang to wipe out everyone.
Jeffrey's project is looking for an explanation by testing to see if there's a slight imbalance, if anti-hydrogen does not, in fact, behave the same as normal hydrogen. Maybe gravity affects it ever so slightly differently.
This is the top of the alpha G machine, where G stands for gravity. This is the device that we're using to try to answer the question, what happens to antimatter if you drop it in the gravitational field of the Earth?
If your experiment found that anti-hydrogen falls up instead of down under gravity, what happens next?
That would be super cool. That would be a complete revolution in science. That's a completely unanticipated result and would mean new physics and probably a Nobel Prize for somebody who happens to be involved.
And also me, because I help bring the news to everyone. So do I get a bit of it?
I'll invite you.
Maybe that's why the rock legends want to come here, mature stars wanting to witness the birth of a new one.
Would I be able to?
Yeah, you're not technically a rock star, but you're a rock star journalist. So go ahead, do us the honor.
I mean, there's not much to my signature. Just an S and a swing of them.
I'm a little bit underwhelmed, like I'd admit.
Yeah. I'm just checking, actually. It does say permanent marker. I was wondering for a few minutes if you give me a dry wipe. So as soon as we're gone. There is a chance that you, at some point, will make a discovery which changes science. Would that be a good thing for you personally?
Obviously, yeah. It's what we all dream about, which is to find something completely new that kind of upturns the apple cart. That's a dream we all have.
Are you ready for that emotionally?
Absolutely.
Now, while people were worried about everything else in the world, well, let me introduce to you something called the demon particle. The holy grail of superconductors. Now, I think it not strange. Now, you're going to write at the top of your paper, in the title part, Antimatter Factory. That was actually that video, BBC, actually put that out on the 5th of August of this year. All right. So if you put the dates now, I want you to tie it all in together. So we'll come back to the tying part altogether. So take a look. Massless demon particle, holy grail of superconductors. Now, originally they said 66 years, and then they said it was 70 years of prediction of the demon particle. So wait a second. You mean to tell me I'm not stupid? You waited for this time to produce this. You waited for this time to put this out. It says, according to the physicists, if a solid contains electrons in more than one energy band, as many metals do, then their plasmons may combine in out-of-phase pattern to create a new plasmon that is massless and natural, a devil. Now, this is Science Times here. Okay. Could be wrong. For some people who don't believe in the Most High, they certainly like playing around here. It seems like they're choosing the side they want to be with, right? It says Abelmont admitted they initially had no idea what it was. They laughed when the possibility that those demons were raised, but later realized that they may have discovered the demon particle. Wait, what? They laughed when the possibility that those demons were raised. Wait a second. But they said, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. Right? It says Huang said Pine's prophecy of demons requires quite particular circumstances, and it is unclear to everyone if strontium ruthenate should have a demon. Now, let's move a little forward. I'm going to show you some other sites, right? Because everyone says something a little different. Sometimes they drop a few gems in there. Now, they published this on August 9th. Now, Cern, Antimatter, August 5th. This on August 9th. 5th, 9th, 5th. Now, look at what it says. Theorists think that plasmons may facilitate superconductivity in materials. If physicists are able to find out how, they could use Pine's demon to shed light on room temperature conductors. Now remember, they're not saying shed light, they're saying shed light. And you'll understand when I move forward. Now, I'm sharing, okay, and all the links will be below. It says, at first, we had no idea what it was. Demons are not in the mainstream. The possibility came up early on, and we basically laughed it off. Now, physicists at the quantum technology company Quantum said in this statement, but as we started ruling things out, we started to suspect that we had really found the demon. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else more important than this. When you have individuals who are paid to find and create and bring in darkness, there's nothing more important than this. Our time is running out. Think about it. It's everywhere. And I know, and some people are sharing the same things. Not everyone. I'm gonna show you that. It says to hunt the demon, physicists behind the new study fired electrons at crystallized strontium, ruthenate, and measured their energies as the electrons bounced back. What? Hunting demon. Hunting demons. These are people who are searching for demons. They call them the elusive demons. Okay. And I'm going to get into why they call it demon too. Don't worry. I want you to understand how bad this is. Okay. It's bad. It's very bad. Now, they're spinning it off like it's great for the energy sector. It's going to help trains float and blah, blah, blah. No, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. Now, uh, uh, I'm just going to go through some of the things that's here. And I'm sitting there saying, this is a demon particle that has been haunting physicists for nearly 70 years. You mean it's haunting them because they want the access to the devil. These are the devil's children. I don't care what no one says. I don't care what no one says. Now, check this out. This is Science Daily. Demon hunting confirmed 67-year-old prediction. Okay. Demon hunting. The elusive demon. One of the most important discoveries of condensed matter physics is that electrons lose their individuality in solids. Electric interactions make the electrons combine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to get to somewhere, right? Without energy, they're talking about charges, and you're wondering, what in the world does this mean? Here you go. Demons' neutrality means that they do not leave a signature in standard condensed matter experiments. The vast majority of experiments are done with light and measure optical properties, but being electrical neutron means that demons don't interact with light. Demons don't inter. Is this sounding like the Bible to you? Demons don't interact with light. No, I'm just making this up. Huh? Right? They don't interact with light. Now, when I pull up scripture, and to all the emotional people who say they believe in the Most High, First Thessalonians, chapter 5, where it says, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of night nor of darkness. We are not of the night nor of darkness." Excuse me. "Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation." Now, wait a minute. If the demons don't interact with light, they taken this as a complete playbook from the Bible. That means if you call yourself a child of light and you playing with darkness, well, they're coming. They coming. Now look at this, right? Let's go a little bit deeper. In Ephesians 5, it says, "Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by light. For whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee the light." Which means no wonder why the demons don't interact with light. Because who is the light? It's Christ. So if you're in Christ and the light is in you, these demons won't even bother you. I say that with strong conviction. Now, let's keep going. Physics.org, demon hunting. I mean, they saying the same exact thing. Literally. They think we're stupid, or they think most people are stupid, which they choose to be. Ignorance is a choice. They given the same time, they just all copied and pasted and put it on each. No. You spending billions of dollars and you gonna tell us the same exact thing? Man, I am not stupid. Look at this, right? It says demons are not in the mainstream. This is the same thing. Title's exactly the same, right? Everywhere. They think we're stupid. Now watch this. Demon particle accidentally discovered. I didn't know you can accidentally. Never mind. While studying a material that could help unlock the secrets of superconductors, scientists have accidentally discovered a demon particle that was first theorized almost 70 years ago, but never had an experimental confirmed. Electrons are strange particles. When they travel through solids, their interactions with each other can form collective excitations that function like entirely new particles with different characteristics. Hey, what? They can go through you with excitations that function like entirely new particles with different character. Never mind. A particle form of quasiparticle called a plasmon occurs during plasma oscillations, and these are a new charge and mass separate from the electrons that make them up. However, plasmons were thought to be impossible at room temperature because energy levels are inadequate for the masses required for them. Now, wait a minute. Yes, I have a science degree. Wait a minute. Room temperature. Now, as the world is entering into the rainy season and the fall season, wait a second. You just said it's impossible for these things at room cool temperature. So you trying to heat up the world so that as winter comes and the rainy seasons come, it can be super cold, unnaturally cold. Mark my words. Now, again, the vast majority of experiments are done with light and measure optical properties, same thing. Being electrically neutral means the demons don't interact with light. I mean, well, if you're in the light, praise the Most High, right? Now, seems to be everywhere because even the weather station is talking about something, right? One moment. Check this out. The weather station is saying psi simplify. What is a demon particle and why are scientists going crazy about it? Now, the question is, why haven't you heard it? Why hasn't it been out there? I mean, they found a God particle, remember that? And now they're finding the demon particle. Now, here you go. The demon particle means distinct electron motion. Now, let's look at this, right? Distinct, not identical, not the same. To distinguish one thing from another, make distinct. Now watch this. To separate between. To keep separate. So a demon that can distinguish who is of darkness and who is of light. Are you tracking this? I ain't making it up. We're gonna use the terms they use. And it goes to distinguish, recognize as different or distinct, perceive, to separate between. Oh, and then it says to prick. And we know what prick means, don't we? Right? We know what that was, right? Well, let's just say something got something that's going to mark. I said this before, and they took my lesson off like 2 years ago. I said something got something that's going to help identify who something is. Never mind. Let me shut up. I said it years ago, and they took. And just like I said, this was a test run. The last one was a test run. See how many dummies I got. Man, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Boy, oh boy. Right? Now, that's what they say it means. Okay. It says the problem is that the demon particle only emerges. Wait, what? Only emerges when electrons group together in hyperspecific energy bands opposing each other charges. Opposing each other charges and partially canceling each other out, meaning it would have no mass as well. It's hard enough to find. Now, I want you to think really quickly how dangerous this is. First, I want you to see the word emerge. Emerge means to rise from or out of anything that surrounds. Uh, that sounds like summon to me. That sounds like conjure to me, right? Now I'm gonna show you something. Get your brains ready. You ready? You ready? Watch this. It says demon particles only emerge when the electron groups together in hyperspecific energy bands, opposing each other charges. Opposing each other charges and partially canceling each other out. So take John and take Jim, okay? And they're both made of mass, and they both oppose each other. Well, how do I get more demon particles? By creating more tension. And guess what? I want to create so much tension that it causes people to die. Because it says what? And partially canceling each other out. That sounds like chaos, doesn't it? I want you to write that word, star chaos, right? Because we're going to go there too. We're going to go there. Now, look what these beasts said. Now that we have exorcised our demon into existence, further study could provide essential insight into how superconductors work and what it might take to make one. So the goal is to make more demons. Now that they have exorcised one, let's go and look it up. If I would have If I would have just said it. If I would have just said it, they wouldn't have believed me. If I would have just said it, look, exercise, exorcism to invoke the spirits. Now, it says banish, but it also says to bind by oath. So they're going to do something that's going to bind the spirits to people's vessels. This ain't over so that they what? Become dominant. The spirits will become dominant. And this is just saying in the 16th century. But still is a good point, right? Let's look at the word exorcism. Calling up or driving out evil spirits. Now, look what it says. Exorcismus, an administration of an oath. Wait, what? Come on. Come on. So when they tell you, yeah, we're exorcising these demons, we've done it. You've given us all the money. We're going to take your taxes and we're going to make more and more and more demons. This ain't over. Jerusalem Post. What they got to say? Hmm. Hmm. I'm wondering. I'm wondering. I'm wondering. I'm wondering. Wow, look, it says they say the same thing. The issue is that most studies of electrons use light, which prevent them from detecting a demon particle as, as it does not interact with light. So that's a physical and spiritual light. Now watch this, right? All I need is like an EMP and or maybe power grids to go out and your whole country is in darkness. Oh, that's what we wanted. Let the demons roam. Oh man. And the Bible, I'm gonna go into a lesson at a later time. Prophesied darkness, because there will be a blackout all over the world coming soon. And when we see the things that we see, I think I'm praying people is ready mentally. They said people, well, remember when that movie Passion came out at first? They said people was dying from seeing the torments of Christ. Hey, your heart gonna drop when you see what they've been working on. Did anyone see one of the ex NASA scientists who they said went to the moon, which we know they didn't? He came out and said he was crying on the interview, saying, "Only if you knew, only if you knew what we really did." He said communicating with, they was communicating with fallen, and he was in tears. Oh yeah, when you do so much evil, it's gonna haunt you. When you do so much evil, it's gonna haunt you. And look what the Most High is sharing with us. Why do you think Christ said the time has to be sped up so fast? If they can create human organs in pigs, they can create AI. Now they have the ability to conjure up demons. I mean, now think about it, right? Demon particle into an AI. Perfect situation. Perfect. Perfect situation for mass death. But let's go a step further. Okay. Let's see. August 22nd, what they've been sharing. Their use.
Recent research published in the Nature journal has highlighted that the scientists at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign and Kyoto University have noticed a strange effect while studying a compound called strontium ruthenate. It is a combination of two metals, strontium and ruthenium. It has led them to find the demon 67 years after it was predicted. One of the most important discoveries of physics is that electrons lose their individuality in solids. With enough energy, electrons can combine to form particles called plasmons, with a new charge and mass determined by underlying electric interactions. The mass of these particles, however, is not possible to form under normal room temperature. In 1956, David Payne found an exception. He argued that if a solid has electrons in more than one energy band, the respective plasmons can combine in an out-of-phase pattern and form a new plasmon. This new plasmon, according to Payne's, will be massless, transparent, and charge neutral. These came to be known as Payne's demon, or demon particles. The word demon is an acronym for distinct electron motion. He predicted that these demon particles will be able to exist at room temperature. This had the potential to provide more insights into the study of superconductors.
Now, they can't get the demons in our atmosphere. That's why they keep saying room temperature. They can't get them, but they want it. Remember what Cern is about. It's about breaking the firmament, the spiritual barrier between the physical and the spiritual. This is what they're trying to do.
In solids, some materials see resistance drop to zero at very low temperatures. This is generally...
Now, what you're seeing is what they're referring to. Demons being able to interact with objects, but you can't see them, right? Now, demons can interact with people today, but you can't see them. You may feel the presence of evil. You may recognize someone's countenance change, right? But you can't feel them. Maybe they inflict a little spiritual pain or, mental pain, right? Sometimes they inflict some type of pain, but you can't feel them like their hands grasping on your shoulder or your arms, right? And this is what they want to do. They want to take it from a presence to a feel.
Low 130 degrees Celsius. The current can pass through these materials at zero voltage and without any energy used. These materials are known as superconductors. Under very high pressures, superconductivity is known to occur at normal temperatures. However, there are some materials which are not superconductors but have some properties similar to them. One such material is strontium ruthenate. The team of scientists was conducting a survey of the metal's properties when they stumbled upon the demon. Peter Abamonte's team was examining strontium ruthenate with momentum-resolved electron energy loss spectroscopy. Under the technique, energy from electrons is shot into metal to observe its properties. During the observation, they found something unusual.
Now think about this. Coming from metals, they absorb the energy of the demon. I want you to think about that real quick. Oh boy.
Electronic mode with no mass. It consisted of two electron bands oscillating out of phase with nearly equal magnitudes, behaving just like Payne's theorized. Now, superconductors are used to run MRI machines and in many electrical circuits.
Now, That's the scary part. How many people knew that an MRI and a CAT scan was a superconductor? So imagine what they're showing the demons inside your body as you're sitting in those. I went through a few of those in my lifetime. Imagine what that's doing to your body. They just say, oh, trust us, right? No.
But it comes with several challenges. Very low temperatures or very high pressures have to be maintained to retain the properties. The utility would improve massively if the phenomenon can be replicated in normal room conditions. So if this team or some other researchers can make sense of the results and manipulate these effects, they may achieve a better understanding of how superconductors work. It may also enable scientific breakthroughs to allow superconductors to work at room temperature.
Yeah, a bunch of crap. I mean, brothers and sisters, they keep saying the same thing. Room temperature, room temperature. We don't give a crap about no room temperature. We understand that y'all are evil. I'm going to put this all in there too, right? All right. Now understand that it states that superconductors work at room temperature. Okay. They work with strange metals. All right. Now that goes to show. Remember the books of remembrance? Remember the books of remembrance? Y'all remember those, right? They were just about all of them were, look, uranium, mercury, right? Now, you may be wondering, why am I showing you this part? Now, the particles that make up, and you can do your research, the particles that make up this demon particle, strontium ruthenate, they said, with inside that, they also put this in zinc pills and zinc vitamins and stuff like that. Stop taking that stuff, right? We eat healthy, you'll be healthy, right? So here's a list of all the, well, not all of the, because I have some more, but here's a list of some of the fallen angels and the elements they came and what they work with. Okay. Now, one of the elements that is in this is aluminum, or better yet, I'll start with artigoph, which is copper. Okay, copper. Now you can find, and you may say, man, I don't know, he's stretching right here. Look at this, right? This is the same Strong's concordance I use. This is artigoph, which is copper, H5178. Look at that. It says copper. And copper means filthiness. Look at that. Made of metal. So we may look at it in this earth as something useful. The Most High deems it as something filthy. Why? Because of the evil that was done with it. The next one is cocobel. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is also in that. All right. And cocobel is H355 6, Kokab. He used to be a very high angel. That's why it says a prince. He used to be the prince of God. See that? Can't make this up. Right there. Next one is Harmony. Excuse me. Of Mount Hermon, which is sulfur. You ever been in the Middle East, lived in the Middle East, you know that the sulfur smell is everywhere, man. Oh, grief. Especially when you're new to the country. Oh boy. Sulfur is H2768. Kermon means abrupt. See that, right? You see it. Now they switched it and said a sanctuary, but anything abrupt, that don't sound good, is it? Coming from 2763, which is what? To seclude, to devote to religious uses, especially destruction. Something. Mount Hermon comes from Karam. Didn't I tell you the Muslims took it and said haram? Because when you say karam, it means to make a curse. It means they're doing something unrighteous. Right? And a lot of Christians will have to swallow that pill because, like, oh, Mount Hermon, it was not a good. It's a mountain where they fell. Okay, it's a mountain where all the fallen fell. Sulfur. Okay. Next one is cereal, which is lead. And you notice how, where do all these cases come from with lead poisoning in children? Who taught them how to make this stuff? That's what I'm sitting there saying. These people are highly the devil. Who taught you to paint walls with lead? Huh? And then kids be getting lead poisoning and from the chips and stuff like. Who taught you this? It's easy. Those demons that they are exercising. They want to exercise them all. Now, lead, cereal, okay. H8123, Shimshon, also the term of, in the Hebrew, that was Samson, was his name. Now it says the sun, a hot wind from the sun causing desolation. Shemesh, notched a battlement. Boy, they are slick, aren't they? And then the last one I cannot find in the Strong's Concordance, but Yomiel, which is Day of God, aluminum. Okay. And this was a female demon. She was known as the enemy of women's righteousness, and she causes disease and mental decay. And she teaches people to seek at ease and be at comfort with themselves. Laziness. She's the master of the obese. She is the enemy of hard work. Think about all that. That's deep. Now, you sitting there saying, all right, all right, all right. I don't believe that. I got a book just recently. I found this book. It's called Dictionary Angels. And you wouldn't believe where I found it from archives.org and the Congress. The Congress, uh, and look at this. It says a dictionary of the angels, right? This is hidden in the Congress and the archives.org. Now, let me type in elements. Now, while that's loading, let's look up the word element. Element, earth, air, fire, water, a rudiment, first principles, okay, complex substance, atmospheric force, modern sense in chemistry. Now, check this out. It gave understanding that angels, as for the angels, some are created from, for the time being, out of subtle elements of matter. The fallen angels are elements. Elements. You know that periodic table that they taught everyone? We were like, why are we learning this? They know the information. The four angels as the opposites of the four holy rulers of the elements. And why, just why, oh, why is Dr. Evil Swab in here mentioning that Azazel has the hidden treasure? Klaus Schwab. Y'all remember World Economic Forum? Schwab? Now, it says in the, and this does make up like the Kabbalah and all their, because that's a whole demon book, right? And it even goes to say the demon's name, what they used to do, and a ruler of four elements. They go into good detail. Angels teaching angels. Speaking of later Judaism, teaching the names of the angels of the elements. Hmm. 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 Remember all this evil here? Yeah, that's witchcraft. Zoroastrian Yazatas, they said the Yazatas are the celestial beings, the genies of the elements, the Persian hierarchy. Come on now. And everyone, if you know Mithra, oof, that's some creepy stuff over there. You can even type in element, you get a lot more, as I did before. But y'all get the gist. All these chemicals is falling. I want you to remember this. We're gonna get into a few more scriptures. Okay. All right. We went from Ephesians. Let's go to Corinthians, and I'm gonna hit a point for a little bit. So I think it's important. It says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" Now, as scary as this is, brothers and sisters, isn't it beautiful to know that if you have light, they can't harm you? So imagine you being one person of, let's say, 12 people in your family, right? And they're all of darkness. They don't believe what you do. They don't believe in the Bible like you. They don't believe in the Most High like you. And let's say you're putting yourself amongst them. Are you being wise or are you being ignorant? Because now those are 12 plus demons that eventually you're going to have to deal with. Now, my thing is this, right? Even the demons have more common sense than people. They know not to go with what they can't bother, right? They're not going to waste their time. They're going to go with people who are already in darkness for possession. Now, remember, what did Baruch say? Prepare that we may possess and not be possessed. That's the point here. That is the point. Prepare that we don't become possessed. It says, "For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Yeshua Christ." Now, that's the light those demons are afraid of. They're afraid of the knowledge of Christ, of the Most High, of the Holy Spirit. They're afraid of the knowledge that says you are forgiven of your sins. They're afraid of the knowledge that says you can be a new man and a new woman. They're afraid of the knowledge. They're afraid of us because he who is in us is stronger than us. They're afraid, they're jealous, they're spiteful because we're going to receive greater than what they lost. But you also have to think it in another sense. If the Most High, He created the angels, Christ went down and he died for our sins, rose up, he fought 3 days, the devil, get the keys, right? Now he's in charge of judgment. At this point, this means what? The devil has no more power. His power is running out. And I know you may say, but there's still evil. That's true. But the power is running out because now the darkness, they're admitting that this darkness that they're conjuring up cannot interact with light. So we are already in a spiritual separation. And soon it's coming to a physical separation if you hadn't done so. Now, you don't believe me. Christ said, I'm going to gather the wheat and the tares, and then we're going to separate the tares, right? Come on now. There will be a separation. As I've told brothers and sisters for so many years, separate yourself now so it doesn't hurt later. Because hey, Some people may be prolonging to separate and say, "Oh, I'll separate when everything pops off." And Christ says, "Well, what you doing coming into my side? I asked you to separate before I came, not when I came. I don't know you. Go on now. Go on and get with them. You chose them. Don't abandon them now. Because guess what? Christ is looking for loyalty. Most High looking for loyalty. Holy Spirit looking for loyalty. Because if you would jump ship for your family when Christ came, who's to say? And we know this will never happen. But who's to say if Christ didn't lose a if Christ lost a battle, you wouldn't jump ship and go to the winning side, right? There's no loyalty. So Christ is saying, I want to see you thick and thin. I wanted to be your family, but you want those in darkness in your family. So you must live with them. Uh-oh. It's getting good now. So we hit the antimatter, a little bit of dark matter, dark energy. We hit the demon particle, right? Listen. John 1 and 4. It says, "In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not." So I want you to understand the demons are aware. Some of the people in the world are of light, and they know, hey. Now, the darkness in people won't allow them to recognize, but isn't that crazy how a demon can recognize who's in light, but the people in front of you can't? That's disgraceful. That's your family and your friends. They can't recognize that you're telling them the truth. They can't comprehend it. It says there was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light, that was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. That's Christ. Once again, they can't come after you if you have the light of Christ inside. This is what this really is telling us. John 3:19 through 21 reads, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest that are wrought in God." Now, this is deep because it says that the demon particles cannot interact with light. They will not. So that means they have to go somewhere. They have to go into those who love darkness, those who hate the light, who hate Christ, who hate the truth. This is where they'll go. Now, Second Thessalonians, just a little bit more on this portion here. 2. Second Thessalonians 2, 7 through 12 reads, For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Remember, I shared with y'all, these are two different he's. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the Father, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So, brothers and sisters, we're in a time, it's high time to wake, gotta sleep. Why? Look at the world. It's just about finished. Anyone who doesn't want to believe the truth, brothers and sisters, you gotta cut them off. You know why? Because the book of Proverbs says, the book of Proverbs 4 and 19, when it all hits the fan, 4:19 states, the way of the wicked is as darkness, and they know not at what they stumble. You don't believe in demons? Well, the scientists do. I guess there's two types of people who believe in demons: believers, or some, and scientists, right? And they done fabricated a whole world of, and you know what's crazy? They got over there in Babylon. They they got over there in Babylon a show called Lucifer, right? If I was a non-believer, I would have been like, we're showing biblical shows now? Lucifer. And you would say, why would I say a biblical show? Because Lucifer is a biblical person. He's from the Bible. He was from the kingdom. That is a biblical person. He's not righteous. I didn't say he was holy. I said he's a biblical person. I was like, wait a minute. Why are we showing this on TV? Man, I need to get myself together. They'll hide anything about God, but they put on national TV something about Lucifer. Something ain't right here. Brothers and sisters, the stumble, the stumble, the stumble, the stumble. The wicked will stumble in the dark. Now, here's the part where I believe they're going to take me off for this one. But I'm going to share with y'all. Right? So we're going to move a little forward into this, right? And here's the demon and different things, right? And I'll just skim through it here. Okay. All right, all right. Like I said, links will be in the description. There's the periodic table, all these demons. Ugh. This is the strontium. Now look at this, right? This is the same chemical that's in the demon particle. And look what it says. The image is highly abstracted metallic mushroom cloud. It alludes to the presence of strontium in nuclear fallout, a soft silvery metal that burns in air and reacts with water. Burns in the air and reacts with water. Burns in the air and reacts with water. Look what it says. It's best known for what? Brilliant reds it salts gives to fireworks. Okay. Producing ferrite magnets and refining zinc. Stay away from that. Right? It says strontium 90 is a radioactive isotope. Now look what it says. Modern glow-in-the-dark paints. They absorb light during the day and release slowly hours afterwards. Wasn't people glowing? Never mind. When they took the jibbity jub. And is found mainly in the minerals celestite and strononite. Let's look at this one because I already know what it is. It's the root. You always look at the root. Celestian, minerals, strononite, right? Yeah, let's look at that. Celestine. Let's look at what y'all know where I'm getting. Celestine comes from the word celestial, right? Root word celeste, which is what? Heavenly. These are all fallen. All these elements are fallen. Okay? Yeah, it's getting good, huh? Now, last video. They're going to take me off of this one. But we're going to give the truth anyway.
The new COVID-19 variant known as Eris is now the dominant strain in the U.S., but an even newer variant is now raising concerns. Medical reporter Liz Bonus explains why.
Hey there, hello to you with those.
Now, this was approximately about 2 days ago or a day ago, something like that.
Tracking this newer variant are concerned about is what's called this highly mutated strain. Its nickname is Parola, which by definition is a plant that lacks a permanent woody stem. Here's what we know about it, and here's what we don't. We don't know how many of those who are hospitalized now are infected with this new Parola strain. We do know, however, that hospitalizations are climbing according to the CDC COVID data tracker. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Stephen Blatt, who tracks the COVID-19 number for one of Ohio's largest hospital systems, TriHealth, says we also do know for the first time in a long time, his team is seeing
A couple people in the ICU,
Now, if they so scared about this, where they mask at? I'm going to share why they don't have one.
really unusual. We haven't seen ICU patients in probably a couple of months.
We also do know that Parola, or BA2.86, is different than previous COVID-19 variants. The CDC describes it as a new lineage.
BA 2.86 is the one that's just been.
Now, they said a new lineage. Say what? A new lineage. A new lineage. So this is a new demon. This is a different ancestor. This is a different line of descent. Okay. All right. Make sure you get those keywords.
Identified. Only one case of it here in the United States so far, but it has a lot of variation in its mutations, like 36 different mutations, which is.
Now, He said 36 different mutations.
Different from the Omicron variants we've seen, which are maybe 1 or 2 mutations different from the previous variants.
So that means we also don't know if the new vaccine this fall will provide protection against severe illness from it.
So you told on yourself. You got yourself a new jab, right? You got yourself a new jab, right? Coming this fall. Hopefully they keep me up here, Most High. Most High willing. Most High willing. I got this from YouTube. I got this video from YouTube. There's nothing wrong with me just reposting the video, right? You know?
Or whether your previous immunity from infection will keep you from getting very sick and ending up in the hospital if you do get it. Now, some hospitals are starting to bring back mask mandates in anticipation of the spread of this newer variant. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Back to you.
No. We're gonna go back to what old devil said.
CDC describes it as a new lineage.
BA 2.86 is the one that's just been identified. Only one case of it here in the United States so far, but it has a lot of variation in its mutations, like 36 different mutations, like 36 different mutations, like 36 different mutations, like 36 different mutations, which...
Now, let's look at this word mutation. It goes from the word mutant, by the way, but you know, whatever. Mutation. The action or process of changing or alteration. Okay. And when people will sit there and say, okay, mutation, how come no one gets alarmed? Like, how do you know this changes DNA? And what does it actually do? Right? Now, 36. But before I go to 36, okay, that's a special number. The new sickness is called Eris. Okay, it's called Eris. So Eris is a Greek goddess of discord and chaos. Now, didn't I tell you to write chaos before? So, watch this. All in the month of August so far, right? Antimatter factory, demon particle, Eris. Okay, good. You catching on. Eris, right? Goddess and personification of discord and strife. You sitting there saying, okay, this is Greek mythology. I don't care nothing about the Greek mythology. I get it. I'm going to prove to you, though, that this was a sign. It says, all right, it says the Greek gods and goddesses enjoyed inflicting pain, suffering, and destruction, but few took as much joy in it as Eris. Ooh, yeah. Eris was a Greek goddess of chaos, strife, and discord. She was also the cause of many wars, including the Trojan War. Wasn't that the movie Troy? Look. She was also the cause of famine and disease. I mean, isn't the world going through famine right now? Maybe. She was often portrayed as a demon haunting the battlefield and delighting in bloodshed with her son and her brother. Ugh, right? And she had a dysfunctional family. Now let's go into these words here, right? Let's look up the word. I want you to write this now. Chaos, right? Chaos. Gapping void, empty, immeasurable space. Okay. Now, want you to understand, chaos means utter confusion. Utter confusion. Now let's bring out my next scripture. James 3:16, right? See if there's any utter confusion in the Bible. Think there is, right? For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Does anyone know what that was even talking about? As it says, this wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly and sensuous and devilish. What is that? Envying and strife. Why is it saying it's devilish? Because could it be that there's a demon over envying, strife, and bitterness? I don't know. I mean, chaos does mean utter confusion, right? And then let's look at the next word, strife, right? Hope you're tracking this. So strife means to fight, quarrel, fight, battle, combat, conflict. Ooh, sounds like war, doesn't it? Yeah. Sounds like war, doesn't it? Also said discord, unfriendly feeling, ill will, dissension, disagreements, right? Different in will or opinion, quarrel, be at variance. Oh, buddy. Man, this is evil. I mean, so Eris is the real deal, huh? I mean, she must be since she's on NASA too, right? Let's just put in the moon in there too, right? Talking about Eris is known as the largest dwarf planet, which we know they named all these so-called planets demons. We understand this. This nonsense. And then take it now. Remember this, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, here's the this, here's the that, here's the variance." Now, Eris is not a part of this. Okay, this is gonna be something. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. You know why? Because the last Jibidija, okay, it brought in what? Uh, 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 passport mandates and and the blocking of movement. Now what's happening now? What's relevant in our time now? Oh wait, economy's collapsing everywhere. This will be the one to bring in and usher in what we've all been waiting for. The unholy, the unrighteous, the most evil mark of the beast. This will be the one. Because don't they say order out of chaos? So now Eris is chaos. They're going to create much. And isn't it funny? Right? This just came up now, August 9th. August 9th. All over the world. US, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Colombia, Canada. There was even report to China, Come on. I'm just sharing, right? Now, this demon, doctor, he had the nerve to say this 36. Now, you sit there saying 36. Why are you emphasizing 36? Why would I be emphasizing 36? Give me 1 second as I pull this up for you. Why would I be emphasizing 36? Yeah, I'm having a bit of a difficulty trying to figure out. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. One moment, please. Thank you for your patience, brothers and sisters, and that brief pause. All right, so check this out. I have the Testament of Solomon here, right? But I want you to remember this, right? We're going to blow up this demon. This doctor. And then we're going to put this here. So he was making an emphasis about what? I want that number.
A lot of variation in its mutations, like 36 different mutations, which 36 different mutations. And it's like 36 different mutations. Like 36 different mutations. 36 different mutations. It's like 36 different mutations, which
36 different mutations, right? Check it out. Solomon 18. Then I commanded another demon to appear before me. There came to me 36 heavenly bodies, and their heads were like formless dogs. But there were among them those who were in the form of humans and of bulls and of dragons, with faces like the birds and the beasts and the sphinx. When I, Solomon, saw these beings, I asked them, saying, well, who are you? All at once, with one voice, they said, we are 36 heavenly bodies, the world rulers of darkness of this age. The world rulers of darkness of this age. The world rulers, the world rulers, the world rulers of darkness of this age. Ephesians 6, Ephesians 6, Ephesians 6, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. 36 rulers of darkness of this world. This next such and such is coming from these 36 fallen demons. Oh, yes, there will be much death. There will be much. It's right there. But you, king, are not able to harm us or to lock us up. But since God gave you authority over all the spirits of the air, the earth, and the regions beneath the earth, we have also taken our place before you like the other spirits. Then I, Solomon, summoned the first spirit and said to him, who are you? Now, I'm not going to read all these, but I'm going to give you just a brief. It says first, okay, called Ruachs. That's the first demon. The second, and what does that demon do? Cause heads of men to suffer pain and cause their temples to throb. Next one, Barsophel. Cause men who reside in my time period to have pains on the sides of their heads. Next one, Artocel. I do much damage to the eyes. Number 4, Orifel. I attack throats, resulting in sore throats and mucus. You know they're going to block this one. Most High willing, please don't let them block it. Please don't let them know. Number 5, Carazanadolon. Sound like some medicine that they would prescribe to someone, some name you can't pronounce. I cause ears to have obstructions. Number 6, I am called Cephendonal. I produce tumors of the parotid gland and the tetanic recurvation. Number 7, Saphendor. I weaken the strength of the shoulders and deaden the nerves in the hands and make limbs paralyzed. You know, those numbness and, yeah, you get it. Number 8, Bell. I pervert the hearts and minds of men. Let me see if there's, did they finish it in the book? I have the book version. That was number 8. Oh, it says in the book version, it says number 8, I distort the hearts and minds of minds of men. So it just leaves it at that. Number 9, Curatel. I send forth colics in the bowels. Number 10, Metathiax. I cause pain in the kidneys. 11, Catanicotel. I unleash fights and feuds in homes. Yeah. Hey, we about to see an evil like we've never seen before. 12, Sathoriel. I put dissensions into the minds of men, and I delight when I cause them to stumble. 13, I am Fo Bethel. I cause loosenings of the tendons. 14, Lariel. I bring on chills and shivering and a sore throat. So you got 36 different variants. All their sicknesses is exactly what they're saying, right? And then all the problems that came with the lockdowns, right? Fighting, the scuffling, right? The disagreements. Man. It says, I am called Sobeti. I unleash shivering and numbness. 16, Catrax. I inflict incurable fevers on men. 17, Europa. I sit on the stomach of a man and cause convulsions in the bath and on the street. I find and make him fall to the ground. 18, Marabel. I separate wife from husband. 19, Martero. I inflict incurable fevers. 20th, Ranks Nahotha. I locate myself in the knees of men. 21st, Rinks Eleth. I produce the crope in infants. 22, Rinks Adomielth. I inflict heart pain. 23rd, Rinks Manthoro. I cause the kidneys to suffer pain. 24th, Rinks Actomy. I cause ribs to suffer pain. 25th, Rinks Anatreth. I send gas and burning up into the bowels. 26, Rinks the Enuatha. I make off with minds and alter hearts. 27, Rinks Axbuth. I cause men to suffer from diarrhea and hemorrhoids. 28, Rinks Hapax. I unleash insomnia. 29. Rinks Honestor. I unleash hysteria and cause pains in the bladder. 30. Rinks Fishkareth. I bring on long-term illness. 31. Rinks Elerith. In case of swallowing fish bones, if anyone puts... Oh, never mind. It doesn't give this one. They block that one out. 32nd. Rinks Inchuthon. I detach tendons. 33rd. Rinks Anchinoth. I cause sore throat and tonsillitis. 34. Rinks Altoth. I cause jealousy and squabbles between those who love each other. Wow. 35. Rinks Phenoyoth. I cast the evil eye on every man. And now these idiots is wearing the evil eye, right? Good grief, boy. I'm telling you. How dumb can you be? And 36. Rinks Manieth. I hold a grudge against the body. I demolish houses. I cause the flesh to rot. Okay. And so from there, brothers and sisters, and they have different names too. And they go into, yeah, but it's pretty much all the same in some sense. I'm not gonna sit there and read the whole thing from the book portion either. Oof. But there it is, brothers and sisters. What did they say? When Solomon spoke to these demons, they said they are what? They are 36 heavenly bodies of rulers of the darkness. Look what it says, Ephesians 6 and 12. It literally means these are those demons. So when these demons sit there and say,
it has a lot of variation in its mutations, like 36 different mutations, which is
like 36 different rulers of darkness under, and they all are under Eris, which means not the actual person or demon, but they're all going to cause chaos and destruction. This is where we are in prophecy. This is why focusing on all the little things means nothing. Think about it. Think about it. All right, finish it up. Enoch 94. Enoch 94 reads, woe unto those who build oppression and injustice, who lay foundations for deceit. They shall soon be demolished, and they shall have no peace. Woe unto them, woe unto those who build their houses with sin, for they shall all be demolished from their foundations. And they shall fall by the sword, and those who amass gold and silver, they shall quickly be destroyed. Woe unto you, O rich people! For you have put your trust in your wealth, you shall ooze out of your riches. For you do not remember the Most High. In the days of your affluence you committed oppression. You have become ready for death and for the day of darkness and the day of great judgment. Thus I speak and let you know, for he who has created you, he will also throw you down upon your own righteousness. There shall be no mercy for you, and And he, your Creator, shall rejoice at your destruction, O God. Your righteous ones shall be a reproach to the sinners and the wicked. 103, verse 3 through, or verse 5 through 9, reads, Woe unto you sinners who are dead, when you are dead in the wealth of your sins. Those who are like you will say of you, Happy are you sinners. The sinners have seen all their days. They have died now in prosperity and wealth. They have not experienced struggle and battle in their lifetime. They have died in glory, and there was no judgment in their lifetime. You yourselves know that they will bring your souls down to Sheol. And they shall experience evil and great tribulation in darkness, nets and burning flames. Your soul shall enter into the great judgment. It shall be a great judgment in all the generations of the world. Woe unto you, for there is no peace for you. 96 and 97 reads, Be hopeful, you righteous ones, for the sinners shall soon perish from before your presence. You shall be given authority upon them, such authority as you may wish to have. And in the day of the tribulation of sinners, your children shall be raised high up, and be made openly visible like eagles. Higher than the vultures will your dwelling place be. You shall ascend and enter the crevices of the earth and the clefts of the rocks. Like squirrels before the face of the oppressors, the siren shall be blown over you, wailing like the buzzing of the wild bees. But you who have experienced pain, fear not, for there shall be a healing medicine for you. A bright light shall enlighten you, and a voice of rest shall you hear from heaven. Woe unto you sinners, for your money makes you appear like the righteous, but your hearts do reprimand you like real sinners. And this very matter shall be a witness against you, as a record of your evil deeds. Woe unto you who eat the best bread, and drink wine in large bowls, trampling upon the weak people with your might. Woe unto you who have water available to you all the time. For soon you shall be consumed and wither away, for you have forsaken the fountain of life. Woe unto you who carry out oppression, deceit, and blasphemy. There shall be a record of evil against you. Woe unto you, O powerful people, who coerce the righteous with your power. The day of your destruction is coming in those days. At the time of your condemnation, many and good days shall come for the righteous ones. Be confident, ye righteous ones, for the sinners are due for a shame. They shall perish on the day of judgment of oppression. Take for granted this indisputable matter, for the Most High shall record your destruction for you, O sinners. And the angels of heaven shall rejoice over your destruction. What do you intend to do, you sinners? Whether you flee on the day of judgment, when you hear the sound of the prayer of the righteous ones, in respect to your lot, you shall become like them, the ones against whom you shall become witnesses. Such is the fact. You have become bedfellows with sinners. In those days, the prayers of the righteous one shall reach unto the Lord. But for all of you, your days shall arrive. Ye shall read aloud regarding every aspect of your mischief in the presence of the great Holy One. Then your faces shall be covered with shame, and he will cast out every deed which is built upon oppression. Woe unto you sinners, who are in the midst of the sea and on the dry land, whose records are both evil and against you. Woe unto you, who gain silver and gold by unjust means. You will then say, we have grown rich and accumulated goods. We have acquired everything that we have desired. So now let us do whatever we like, for we have gathered silver. We have filled our treasures with money like water, and many are the laborers in our house. Your lies flow like water, for your wealth shall not endure. But it shall take off from you quickly, for you have acquired it all unjustly, and you shall be given over to a great curse. In the book of Psalms, Psalms of Solomon. Book of Psalms of Solomon. Let me get that real quick. That should be volume 2. Moment. All right, brothers and sisters, this is Psalms of Solomon, chapter 14 and 15. It says, the Lord is faithful to those who truly love him, to those who endure his discipline, to those who love in the righteousness of his commandments, in the law which he has commanded for our life. The Lord's devout shall live by it forever. The Lord's paradise, the trees of life, are his devout ones. Their planting is firmly rooted forever. They shall not be uprooted as long as the heavens shall last. For Israel is the portion and inheritance of God. But not so are sinners and criminals who love to spend the day in sharing their sin. Their enjoyment is brief and decaying, and they do not remember God. For the ways of men are known before him always, and he knows the secrets of the heart before they happen. Therefore, their inheritance is hades and darkness and destruction. And they will not be found on the day of mercy for the righteous, but the devout of the Lord will inherit life and happiness. When I was persecuted, I called on the Lord's name. I expected the help of Jacob's God, and I was saved. For you, O God, are the hope and refuge of the poor. For who, O God, is strong except he who confesses you in truth? And what person is powerful except he who confesses your name? A new psalm with song and with a happy heart, the fruit of the lips with the tuned instrument of the tongue, the fruits of the lips from a devout and righteous heart. The one who does these things will never be disturbed by evil. The flame of fire and anger against the unrighteous shall not touch him, when it goes out from the Lord's presence against the sinners to destroy the sinners every assurance. For God's mark is on the righteous for their salvation. Famine and sword and death shall be far from the righteous, for they will retreat from the devout like those pursued by famine. But they shall pursue sinners and overtake them, for those who act lawlessly shall not escape the Lord's judgment. They shall be overtaken as by those experienced in war. For on their forehead is the mark of destruction, and the inheritance of sinners is destruction and darkness, and their lawless action shall pursue them below into Hades. Their inheritance shall not be found for their children, for lawless action shall devastate their home, the homes of sinners, and sinners shall perish forever in the day of the Lord's judgment, when God oversees the earth at his judgment. But those who fear the Lord shall find mercy in it, and shall live by their God's mercy, but the sinners shall perish for all time. With that being said, brothers and sisters, antimatter weapons around the corner, demon particles within certain things. And then the 36 demons who will usher in chaos and every kind of evil, starting in the fall, as they say, the winter. But do understand this, brothers and sisters. Nigh is the time, nigh is the time. It is now time to wake out of sleep. It is now time to prepare so that you may possess the kingdom of heaven and not become a possession of the devil. For we seek the kingdom of heaven and not the fatal attraction of the devil. Shalom.